everyone, welcome to our channel. This is Clara.
And this is Denise, and today we're going to be doing a get ready with us video while we talk about the Doomsday couple. Okay, so just disclaimer, I'm already wearing foundation, I put on primer, and Denise is going to be doing a full face because...
Yeah, so I put only my skincare, and I just have my primer already, and I'm going to do a full face with makeup and everything.
Perfect. Love it. Okay.
So the Doomsday couple, basically their names are Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, going on trial for the murders of their Lori's two kids and Chad Daybell's ex-wife, Tammy Daybell. So it's all, it's a really tricky situation with, what happened with their deaths, because a lot of people died in their family. Like the brother died of Lori Vallow.
Alex Cox.
Yeah, his brother Alex Cox, and then Tammy Daybell, which was Chad's wife, died, mysteriously too, and now it was, asphyxiation.
Let's not forget the big one, Lori's ex-husband, Charles Vallow.
Yes.
Which she isn't being tried, or they're not being tried for that this time, but they're gonna be tried for that murder another time.
Yeah, in the future.
And
so the trial starts, I think it's starting soon, and they're gonna try them for the death of the kids. They had found the bodies of the kids in the backyard of Chad Daybell. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Doomsday couple, there's actually a Netflix series called Sins of Our Mother. So the Sins of Our Mother actually recaps everything that has happened with the Doomsday couple, which is Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell.
Yeah, so Charles and Lori were married. That was her 5th or 6th marriage. We have Chad and Tammy, who were
also married.
But we don't really find out much about their life before or anything like that. It's more about when Lori and Chad meet, that's where it picks up.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of know to that.
And that, pretty much that's all when everything started happening. Yeah, so Charles was married to Lori Vallow. He was a father figure for the two kids, even though I don't think he was...
3 kids.
Oh, 3 kids. Oh, 3 kids.
We're talking about Colby, Tylee, and JJ.
He actually ended up dying, and before he died, he had actually called the cops because he was scared of Lori. I think she was saying crazy things.
So when the cops were interviewing her, she basically charmed them and made them believe that everything was okay. But he felt it. He knew that something was going to happen. He even said, if something happens to me, it was Lori. No one really believed him. I think even his own family, his kids, Colby, all of them didn't really believe him. Another person we're bringing into this story is Alex Cox, which is Lori's brother.
Yes.
Alex is the one who actually killed Charles and claimed it was self-defense, but nothing really points to that being self-defense. Wasn't it in the back, in his back? He got shot in the back.
Yeah, he shot in the back, so obviously that looks kind of weird. So if you're defending yourself, how are you shot in the back? That's where it's, a little fishy and suspicious. I think in the series on Netflix, it mentions that they had asked him if he would do CPR, and he said yes, but then they got there and he didn't have blood on him.
Right. And then on the phone call, it didn't sound like he was doing CPR either. He had said that Charles was gonna hit him with a bat, and so this is from different videos, different things that we've seen, Charles Vallow was kind of fit or bigger than Alex, so if he really was charging at him with a bat, he probably would have hit him harder, because Alex did have a cut on his head or something. That's when he said, that's kind of what he claimed to be.
And that's why he was so scared for his life.
Yes, exactly.
Because he had even though it was just the bat and he had a gun, I guess he was just so scared for his life.
Yeah. I've heard this from other videos and things like that where they kind of compare Lori to Charles Manson, because Charles Manson never actually was there in the murders. he kind of orchestrated the whole thing and had other people do his dirty work, which kind of sounds like something Lori was doing. She was definitely manipulating a lot of people, the brother specifically.
Yeah.
Yes. She was also trying to get her friends to lie for her, and her responses are kind of what kind of get to me, where she's always like, "Oh, I love you," or she still tries to be sweet even when they're accusing her of something. It's just a manipulative tactic. Yeah.
And so I know that Lori Vallow was very close to Alex Cox, which was her brother. Before he died, they were very close, and so that's why in the series they also mentioned that, that's why he defended her, because like they were so close, and that's why he might have claimed self-defense because they were so close, and so he would protect his sister at all costs.
This started happening too when Lori met Chad Daybell. Chad is a writer, right? He's a writer. They met at some kind of convention or something, and that's kind of where that whole story started going even worse, because it was already going downhill from what Charles was already saying.
Yeah, and then remember they were both part of the Latter-day Saints.
Oh, right.
Yes. So on the Netflix series, it goes, it takes like a deep dive at like what happened with the Doomsday couple. What happened with, the deaths of Tylee and JJ. Those are the two murders that
they're being tried for.
Yeah.
So right now, their first trial is going to be for the murders of Tylee, JJ, and Tammy. Because Tammy was originally known to have died of natural causes, and then they exhume her body and find out that she actually died from asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Asphyxiation?
Asphyxiation.
Yeah. Next trial is going to be for the murder of Charles Vallow, which again we have mentioned. That's the ex-husband that Lori's brother Alex killed in self-defense.
Allegedly.
So yeah, what do you think, Denise? I mean, it's so crazy, right? Like when they found the bodies of the kids, they had found Tylee was burnt and dismembered. Terrible. And then JJ, he was tied, like he was duct taped, right? So
yeah, and so they were found in the backyard of Chad Daybell, which, I mean, to me, I'm like, if the bodies are in your backyard, like that just points to you doing it. Right? Like,
yes.
I mean, if I had bodies in my backyard, you would think I did it, right?
Yeah, who else is gonna bury a body? Bury? Who else is gonna bury? Who else is gonna bury a body in your backyard? Unless they're trying to frame you, but no.
Yeah. So
this is definitely not a case of framing somebody.
So I had seen, and I don't know if it's on the Sins of Our Mother. I know that I had seen it on a series where the children of Chad Daybell had actually talked about that they didn't think that the dad did that. Like, they were like, somebody must have done it in our backyard, which I was like, that is crazy.
No way.
Like, I'm like, who would go into your backyard and bury people, like, and then like try to frame you? It just doesn't make sense.
Right. I think part of it too, I mean, his children aren't, in their head, they don't want to have the idea that their father is a murderer.
Yeah, of course.
Part of it could be, denial, but part of it, it's like this whole reality of who your father is just going to be shattered, because you're going to find out that your dad is an actual murderer. Nobody wants to find out that their parent killed these two kids.
But I mean, everything just points to Lori and Chad, because like, they actually got married, how long was it after Tammy died? I think it was
that's right. So after Tammy died, they got married maybe even less than a month after?
Right? What? I'm not even too sure.
Okay. We don't know the timeline, obviously.
But it was for sure less than 6 months.
Yes. And actually, right? Okay, so I heard this from a different video, and we can probably put the sources in the description box, but they were talking about how Lori was buying wedding stuff on Amazon while Tammy was still alive. So there was this whole plan of just killing Tammy for them to get married. She had bought rings. She had bought the wedding attire. That's something that they don't say on the Netflix series, I believe.
I mean all that is like fishy. I mean,
yeah.
Like, how are you married to someone and you're over here already, buying, wedding rings? It just doesn't make sense. Like, and then that they end up dead, like everybody ends up dead around them. It's just crazy, right?
Right. And then, you know what's so weird? The list of, like, their hit list of people who were on the dark and light side and this and that. So actually, Colby's wife mentioned how she had found this email with a list of who had like a light spirit and a dark spirit, and they were like rating them. There was like a rating system.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually on the bad list, like on the list where she was a darker spirit. And I mean, she already kind of knew that Lori didn't like her because, she's basically taking her baby boy away.
Yeah, so okay. I mean, all these things just point to Chad and Lori being involved. I mean, Tammy, the fact that they were already planning marriage when Tammy was still alive is just, sketchy itself. And then the fact that, these bodies were found in Chad Daybell's backyard is even more sketchy. And then I know that, her brother died, Alex Cox, he died. So then now it just is like, so who did it? I think the defense might end up saying like it was Alex, right? Like it was Alex because he can't speak for himself anymore.
He can't speak for himself anymore. And I mean, he was very involved with everything happening there. He had his sister back. He was loyal.
Mm-hmm.
I
had a brother like that.
For real? I don't know. We need a brother that's that loyal to
yeah. But yeah, so I mean, obviously it's easy to point the finger to him because now he's gone. So it's easy to just be like, well, he was there but he buried the bodies. Buried, I don't know.
That Texas accent's coming out. She's from Texas, everybody, so that is why. Buried.
Yeah. Buried the bodies in the backyard. Who knows, like, what happened to everybody that died around them, but I mean, it's all very sketchy. It was on the news where Lori and Chad were over there living their life in,
Kauai or something, right?
Yeah, in Kauai, having, their little honeymoon while their
kids are missing. They're asking them, like, where are the kids? Where are the kids? And she's just over there, like, having fun, laughing. They were taking all these pictures, and it was just so weird. There was a picture of her, like, doing this kind of thing with her hands. And that's already kind of weird because Charlie's Angels, like, I'm shooting at you. But, I mean, if you think about it, they basically shot her ex-husband.
I mean, to me, I just feel like there's no way that they didn't kill the kids. Like, I mean, how are people asking you where the kids are and you're just, like, nonchalantly like, no comment, and then, like, they end up dead. Like, they end up finding them dead. Like,
yes.
I feel like it's just like, so you knew all along that they were dead and you're over here vacationing?
What do you think about her mental health? Because she really believes she's like a god. She really thinks she's doing the right thing. Like, she feels like she's righteous. But I think this all really just it just screams like mental health, like something.
Obviously we're not professionals and so we don't know, but I mean, the fact that you're thinking that you're somehow like greater than like everybody else, then that's like something like weird, right? Like something's wrong with her head. And I think also the fact that they had, they try to cover it up by like, having friends lie for them and like, I don't know, like, so you knew that they were dead, but you were telling people that, they were safe.
Yes.
Right? They were safe.
Safe and happy. And she tried to make the friend lie to the cops as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said to the cops, Lori is the she. Lori said to the cops that the kids were over at her friend's, and then
and she refused to lie.
Oh yeah, she said, like, if you were my friend, you wouldn't have me put in that situation, which that is correct.
That's true.
Don't ever put me in a situation like that. Because how will not lie to you. I will not lie for you. I'll lie to you?
Nah. You're like, I'll lie to you, but I won't lie for you. No, I mean, I get it. I think that just all points to it. So, I mean, Clara, like, I can't wait for the trial. And I can't wait to see the type of evidence that they'll bring up. I mean, there's just so much evidence and there's just so much stuff that has happened around this, you know, this case that's just like everything is, you know, looks bad for them.
You're absolutely right where they're going to try to blame the brother because he's dead. I mean, that guy is no saint. He did a lot of things. That's kind of like their only way out, really, other than like a mental health defense or something like that.
But I think that she already tried. I think she tried to like have a mental health defense already, but I think that they found her competent.
Really?
Yeah, they found her competent, so that's why she's going on trial. I mean, it's because there is something weird about the fact that she thought like the kids were some like bad spirit or something. I mean, I feel like there is something wrong there.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Like to where she wasn't even concerned about like them being dead or, you know. Like,
she made up something about how JJ, the youngest son, was climbing up in the cabinets and that he took a picture of Jesus and destroyed it or something. I mean,
I feel like there's something wrong, but at the same time, I guess there's a level of like how you're crazy to like, you know what you were doing, but you just kind of like chose to ignore it. Like, I know that it wasn't right. That these kids like got killed. Even if like she didn't personally do it, if the brother did do it, but she knew about it or she was there, like it was still like she was still involved.
I'm very curious to see in the trial like how she's gonna behave, because from what I've seen her other court videos, she's kind of like grinning or doing this type of thing, like
on the Netflix series they do talk about Colby. He talks about the fact that like he spoke to her and he would talk to her and she sounded so like
like very
nonchalant, like I don't know,
and calling him baby, like I'm sorry, I love you. When he's like, how can you do this to your kids, like my siblings? She's like, well, were you there?
Yeah.
This all just sounds to me like she's stalling or she's trying to
but at the same time she doesn't even sound sad about the kids.
Oh yeah, there's definitely no remorse.
Yes, so like
at all.
She doesn't sound sad. She's not even claiming like I didn't do it. So then that's where also
that's true.
Right?
She hasn't, right? She hasn't said like I didn't do it.
If my kids died or something happened to them, I would immediately be like, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. You're crazy. Like, look for the real person that did it. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
It's like she's not. What is it? Not confirming nor denying.
Yeah. So if you didn't do it, just say it. You know.
Right.
But obviously, she didn't.
Oh. Or even if she didn't physically do the act of murdering them, she definitely had something to do with orchestrating that whole thing. Whether it was the brother or it was Chad Daybell.
I feel like everything that happened about this case is so sad. I mean, you know how Tammy died, the kids died, Alex Cox died, Charles Vallow died, who else died? I feel like everybody was like dying, you know, around that family. I feel like everything's like so sad, and how they died is also like sad. So since we were talking about, you know, that Lori Vallow, basically, you know, she was found that she's able to stand trial. I mean, I know that I had seen on like YouTube, I had seen where there was like audio from like conversations between Lori and Chad Daybell where they don't sound remorseful. They don't sound like they think they did anything wrong. And that's where I feel like that's where, you know, it comes to question, like, what is wrong with them, like, with their mental health? Because they just sound like they didn't do anything wrong.
Right. They really think they're being righteous and that they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. And I think that that's where, you know, obviously with the law, they did something wrong. Like, as much as they want to think and, you know, their religion or whatever they were into, I feel like, you know, in the end, the law will say, you know, it was a crime. You guys committed it. You know, you guys are going to jail for the rest of your life. Ultimately, like, it's going to come down to what the verdict is and how they find them, you know, guilty or not guilty at the trial.
Right. Was the death penalty mentioned for them?
I haven't heard about the death penalty actually. But I know that I have seen that they were still kind of in contact, and I know that the lawyers were actually...
Who is in contact?
Lori and Chad.
How? How did they get those privileges?
Well, I know
Can
that
people do that?
they had mentioned it in the beginning. I don't know about now, that they were having conversations, and I know that the defense was looking into separating their trials.
All right, so now that we basically recapped everything, we're going to be tuning into the trial. So the trial's going to start April.
Yeah, April.
April 3rd. So this is Lori's trial.
Yeah, so the judge actually had been denying their motion to sever the trial, which is pretty much like separate it. He had been denying it, but recently they had found evidence that pretty much led him to agree on separating the cases.
Yes.
So there's going to be her trial first, and then his will be scheduled at a later date.
Which we don't know yet, but of course we're going to be tuning into that trial as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. That would really help us out.
Yes.
Our channel. Yes, please let us know in the comments what you'd like to see. Do you even like getting ready with me videos?
Are you guys going to watch it? What do you guys think? I mean, we'll be watching it, so for sure we'll have another video.
By
to talk
it,
about
she means the trial in our video? By watching it, she means the trial, yes.
Yes.
Okay. But yes, watch her video too. If you got this far, thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
All right.
See you in the next one.
Bye.